All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. I give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And a sincere Shalom to the elect out there, teaching this truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Okay, I'm the brother Yasharon, and this is a walk and talk commentary style video. Alright, we're going to talk about those who were among us and being lukewarm. Alright, and we're going to start with Revelation 3:15. Bear in mind, I'm trying to walk and read at the same time. This is Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. And we brought this scripture out. Actually, we quoted it at the camp. Okay? And it's something that our apostles used to bring out to us all the time. Alright? They used to bring it out to us all the time, man. You know, and they used to bring out, 2 Peter 1:10? Give all diligence to make that calling and election sure. Okay? Because there's one thing that you could do here to help keep you in this thing, and that's taking this seriously. Okay? You know, guys, we've seen a lot of lukewarm guys get sifted or kicked out of this truth. Whether they fell out, got kicked out, got sifted out, whatever, over the years, you know. And the time is coming where you really got to get people like that away from you. Okay? And let them be like all the other guys that fell out. Because we're coming to the time, and we brought this out at camp. Alright? About how these Judas purses are about to get put out there soon, man. Alright? Now, if you got a guy in your camp who's among you, and he ain't doing shit, right? Do you believe that his faith is strong enough to take a bribe? Okay? That his faith is strong enough. Like, let's say Esau comes up to him with the bag. Maybe it's got $1 million in it. Maybe it's got $2 million. Okay? But do you really trust that man? Not to take that bag. Okay? This is verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and lukewarm guys are going to take the bag. Okay? I'm not saying all of them are. But a good amount of them guys, if they're in your camp, they are going to take that bag, man, because they don't have the faith. Okay? And they don't have the foundation to resist it. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. And that's what the Lord is going to do, man. That's why we need to give all diligence to make our calling and election sure. Okay, let me get that. And the scriptures also say, see then that ye are counted worthy to escape these things. What things is that talking about? The coming destruction, man. The sword, the famine, pestilences, plagues. Right? And the scriptures also say, actually, I'll get that after this. This is 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. So you got called into this thing, man. That's a privilege. That makes you unique and special. The fact that you got called into this thing, man. But the scriptures also say many are called but few are chosen. We're not trying to be amongst the called. We're trying to be amongst the chosen. Okay? So if you've received that privilege of being called into this thing, you take it lightly, like being lukewarm, then the Lord has serious punishment for you, man. Because a lot of them guys that end up lukewarm, I'm not gonna say all of them, but them lukewarm guys that fall out, sometimes when they fall out or get kicked out, what happens? They go and they make videos talking shit about their teachers. They air out brothers' dirty laundry in their own business. Okay? Just turn it into demons, man. So if you come into this truth and you don't take it seriously, man, the Lord could turn your ass into a fucking scoffer. He could bring you to the dark side, man. You know? 2 Peter 1:10, once again. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Okay? So as long as you're holding this truth close to you, man, in sincerity, that is, and you're good to your brethren, because there's some guys that knew a lot, but they were pieces of shit. And the Lord got rid of them too, so I guess they were lukewarm when it came to brotherly love. But when I mean the truth, I mean the truth as a whole, man. You know? You gotta give that diligence. Okay? You gotta give that diligence, man. Because the Lord knows where your heart is, man. The scriptures talk about how the Lord trieth the reins. Okay? The Lord trieth the reins, man. He knows whether you're sincere with something or not. He knows whether you're being deceitful. He knows whether you're faking the funk. Okay? He knows all that, man. You can't fool him. That's the Father of spirits, man. He created your spirit. You gonna fool him? Okay? Slacky, this is 2 Peter 3:13, and I could get 10, but I want to go to 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. And a lot of these guys that are lukewarm, they're really not looking for the kingdom. You know, this is just something to do. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent. There's that word again, diligent. That ye may be found of him in peace, without spot, and blameless. And I always like to say, you know, you want when these elites come to nab us up, you don't want to be one of those people or one of those men that's sitting in the back of that truck on your way to that camp, wondering if you could have did more, or wondering what you could have did differently. You don't want to be one of those men. Okay, you want to be found in peace, without spot, and blameless. You got to have the peace of mind that the Spirit is going to give you during that time, man. Where all of these people are going to be bugging out, flipping out during the hour of temptation. You know, you want to know. You want to have the faith, okay, that your covering is of the Lord, that the Lord's got you covered. Okay? Now I got to do one. I'm going to get one more scripture. This is going to be a real short one. So like you. But I just wanted to hammer that point home, man. You know? This is 1 John 2:19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. Just like these guys that came in and fell out along the way. Okay? For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. So they weren't of the hopeful elect. So they're, if they were, they would have continued with us no matter what they were going through. Okay? I mean, there's examples of brothers that got kicked out of camps and have rejoined, or they're out there still teaching. Lord may have mercy on those brothers, man. We've seen that in our camp. Okay? We seen that in our camp, man. Pretty amazing, huh? They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. These scoffers, bro. These scoffers, man. They're not of us. These guys that fell out, they're not of us. These lukewarm guys. They're not of us, man. Okay? And you brothers in camps, when somebody like that falls out or gets removed, you got to separate your fucking emotions, man. You can't be getting... Because it's another thing that happens, The two brothers may be in a camp together and one's close to the other, but the one guy is lukewarm and falls out or gets kicked out. When in that situation, you got to be about the Lord's business, man. You got to go no contact with that person. Okay? Or whether they're suspended or whatever the situation is, you got to deal accordingly, man. You can't be getting all emotionally choked up because your friend got kicked out the truth. Me personally, one of my best friends in the whole world got kicked out the truth, man. Okay? And I was the one that made the call. I was one of the ones that spoke up and said, "You know what, man, I agree, he's got to go." Okay? And were my feelings hurt when I said that? Yeah. They were, But I knew that it was a test from the Lord, and this was years back. I knew that it was a test from the Lord, man. See if I had the strength to move on and continue his will and deal with loss. See? But with that, pretty much arrived at the destination. This wasn't going to be very long. Just something on my mind. Alright? So I hope that this was edifying for you brothers. Okay? Just a quick exhortation, man. Let's get going. We're almost out of here, man. We're almost out of here, man. That was not, Isaiah 62:6, right? We can't keep silence day nor night until we're in the kingdom. So with that, till next time, shalom.